Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Real Talk Law with Arnette D. Love. I am just ecstatic about being in your presence this morning. And you know what? I know I didn't come on the scheduled day, but I needed a me day. And sometimes you just got to take a me day. But y'all caught me. I'm in the middle of doing a project. And so I had to come to work. But I wanted to come to you right now while I'm working because there was something that was put on my heart, something that needs to be said, and a lot of times we don't recognize or we don't pay attention to our surroundings. And I think the title that I put up there was sometimes we just have to wait or sometimes we have to wait. And what I'm saying is a lot of people don't learn from other people's experiences. I learn from others' experiences. I pay attention. I watch. I see how you're treated by certain individuals. And then I figure, hey, if they treat you like that, they'll treat me like that. And so I do, a lot of watching and observation. And so I noticed that when I was out there, because the plug, when I knew everything going on in the city, when I knew who to connect people with and everything, I would do that because that was my thing. That's what I did. I connected you with the people that was able to help you, was able to help your business, was able to give you advice on certain things. That's what I used to do. And I realized when I was no longer with that, in that vicinity with that group of people where I can make referrals and all that stuff, because see, sometimes God removes you from where he doesn't want you to be, or from whom or who he doesn't want you to be around. And so I understand that. So I moved out swiftly and without any regrets. But there were some people that I did literally help and take you to places that you normally would not go. And I've noticed that these same people now includes the people that I introduced them to, but yet you leave me out. Whether it be your phone calls, whether it be your posts, whether it be in your discussions, you leave me out because I'm no longer in that in crowd. So you want to continue to be what I would call an opportunist. And so you continue to be an opportunist, but you forget who actually did the footwork for you, who actually went to bat for you, and who actually put your name in the atmosphere. So you never turn your back on those who sincerely try to help you, because you have to understand, when your people get tired of you, not all, but some, they turn on you and then they try to block your blessings. And understand that only God can bless you. These people are not blessing you. He allows them to be a part of your blessing, but they're not blessing you. I just want to put that little tidbit in before anybody get confused about who's giving you a blessing and who's giving you a hand up or a hand out. It's not the person that actually does it for you. It's the individual that we call our God, our Father. So understand that's where your blessings and your help comes from. And I'm not getting ready to preach to you. I just want to give you my foundation of what I'm saying. So these people that I connected you to, and I want y'all to put yourselves in my position, because it may not be me, only me who has done this. It might be somebody else out there that has helped people along the way. And then you find yourself on the outskirts once they have done what it is that they choose that they want to do. Once they have accomplished their goal of being an opportunist, you're on the outskirt, but it doesn't stop me from continuously helping people. But I want you to be mindful of the situations, because what they would do, what these folks would do to one person, they'll do to another people. And I'm not talking about a particular group at this time. I'm talking about individuals, period. Pay attention to how they move, because they will move the same way on you. Pay attention to who you call your friends, because your friends are not always your friends. Pay attention who's trying to dwell deep into your business, because the same way they're bringing you other people's information, they're taking your information as well to other people. So we have to be mindful of what goes around comes around, and we cannot forget that what you would do to one person, or what they would do to one person, they would do to you. You are not exempt. I am not exempt. We are not exempt. So we must be mindful of what we allow and how we allow our reputation to be perceived. Understand that. How do we allow our representation to be perceived? I have a problem with my reputation being perceived as anything other than strong. My demeanor has to be of courage and strength. And if it's not, I have an issue with that. I have a real issue with that. If my demeanor is not perceived as being a strong woman, I have an issue. Okay. So now, what do you do? What do you do when you have put people in positions, when you connected these people and you realize that you can't even get a hello, how you doing? See, I don't need any recognition. My issue is you don't even say hello, how you doing? Is everything okay? How's the family? You don't even say that. You have completely cut me out, and I was the one that put you in. I plugged you in to where you are today so that you can get the help that you need. And I wish you nothing but happiness, all of you. And this is what I want y'all to be thinking too now. I'm just saying it from a first person point of view, because I just realized that this has happened numerous of times to me. And I was your plug, and you won't even open your mouth to say hello. But I noticed, or you won't tag me into your outstanding adventures. And I noticed that everybody that I've connected you to is in that tag. People that wouldn't even touch you because they walked around and said that you just want money. You're an opportunist. And I was the one that stood up and said, no, they're doing good things. They're going to do good things for this community. Let's get behind them. Let's stand behind this person. They're talented. They're not just looking for money. They need resources. See, I was the one. I was the one that said, yes, let's get this vehicle right here, and let's do this for this person. See, how quickly we forget. How quickly we forget. See, you always want to keep your line of communication. You always want to be able to go back to the source that actually was genuinely trying to help you. I remember it was a politician, and I lied to you not. Let me tell y'all about this politician. It was a politician that wanted support so badly. And, I was willing to support him. I was going to support him just as I would support anybody that I believe could do the job, or anybody that I was impressed with. Checkered background, definitely. If your background is checkered, and I feel like you have been blessed with the redemption and the ability to do something, I'm going to support you. And so I remember how quickly, once I supported this certain politician, I remember how quickly they turned on me. Once again, an opportunist. And then I remember when I went on about my way, and my mother was in the car. I went on about my way, and this politician, somehow we ended up on the phone together, and they was blasting me about not supporting them a second time. And we don't do that, and I can't believe, they was getting on me. They were getting on me, and we're not going to do this again, because we better than that. And I was like, okay, we better than that. And guess what? That same politician was the one that told me they couldn't support me again this year. That same one, but you wanted my support. And so, at some point you have to call a spade and understand who the opportunists are. And you got to walk away, and you got to sit back and wait for the karma to happen. Because the same people that you're putting so much trust in gonna do you the same way you have seen them do others when they get tired of your hot pots. And I want my people, the people that follow me, the people that understand that my videos ain't about like a box of flowers or whatever, however you get your flowers in the bag or wrapping, however, that's not my videos. My videos are going to tell you like it TI is. My video is going to be straight into the point. Be mindful of who you surround yourself with. Be mindful of what groups you settle in. Because baby, I'm telling you, when these people get tired of you, they're going to throw you away like a candy wrapper. And they're going to do it with a smile, honey. And they're going to let you know that they just don't want you around right now. And I'm talking about different groups. I don't know where you are, but be mindful of that group. Okay? See, lovers, I'm not talking about any certain individuals right now. I'm talking about just life in general. I'm talking about manipulation. I'm talking about crabs in the bucket. I'm talking about opportunists. Now, let me say this. There are a lot of opportunists in politics. There are a lot of people in politics. I want to know, this is my question. How did you come here for a job? You're only here in this area for a job, and this could be in California, this could be anywhere. Just listen to me. Wherever you are, put yourself in this situation and try to understand, how did you come here for a job? Okay, somebody sleeping, they snoozing, they snooze, you lose. How did you come here for a job? Then all of a sudden, you care so much about this community that it's time for you to run for office. Opportunists. Opportunists. You don't care so much about this community. You care what you can gain from this community. You care about how this would change your life by sitting in a certain position. Opportunists. You don't care, because you would have went somewhere else if that job offer was bigger. If the offer was larger and if the people had accepted you, you would have went somewhere else. But all of a sudden, you settled in that city, and now you care so much about that city that you want to run for office. People, don't be manipulated by opportunists. Don't be manipulated by people that use big words, especially big words that you cannot understand, because anybody that's willing to work for the community know that you talk in a manner in which the most illiterate person can understand. In a manner where children can understand. You don't use big words when you saying you want to serve the community. So don't be impressed because people get out there and start spewing those big words that you feel are educated, grammar. Don't do that. Don't fall for that manipulation. Big words don't make you smart. You got men that go and women that go to prison and learn the whole dictionary, and they can come out and spew a whole bunch of big words to you, but can't do a job. But they'll make you think they'll do a job because they just sat there and gave you the whole Webster's dictionary. Don't let those big words get your mind thinking this person's going to do good. It has to be here. It has to be in the heart. It has to be felt. Okay? And pay attention to who opportunists are. You came here to do a job. That's the only reason why you ended up in this city, in this state. Because you came to do a job, but you love us so much that you want to work for us now. Don't let these opportunities get us into these positions. That's why we have issues. That's why your city have issues wherever you are, because a lot of people that we vote in are opportunists. They don't care anything about us. That's why when we come to them with our problems and our issues, we are ignored because they want to do just what's on their agenda, and they want to do the bare minimum to say that I'm doing my job, but there's no heart in it. There's no care. There's no love. That's why they can look you dead in the face face when you telling people that water is coming through my floor, and they won't say a word, and they won't push for the person that's supposed to be doing the repairs and everything, or the construction outside in the street, because they don't care, because they're opportunists. You gave them 4 years of that title, and all they have to do is the bare minimum. You want somebody that's going to do more than the bare minimum. You want somebody who's going to actually care about what you're saying, and care about your predicament, and care about your family. And I can tell you, a lot of times, even though we put people in position that don't come from this area, and they do seem to care, but you have a lot of people that you overlook that love this area, that has grown up and been raised and reared in this area, and we overlook them because they're not spewing big words. Do not fall into that manipulation tactic. Like I said, sometimes you just got to sit back and watch. When you sit back and watch, what do you see? Do you ignore what you see? Do you pay attention? Do you forget, like halfway through the year, what they have done that you were not approving of? And then when they start kissing up because they know it's time for re-election, you start falling into, oh, they're doing a pretty good job. Baby, go back. Remember the lies. Remember the dysfunction. Remember the fighting. Remember who was against who, and then how it flipped all of a sudden. We buddies because we want to get rid of certain people so we can stay together. Remember who wasn't working for you. Remember who wasn't working for you. Remember who wouldn't show up to your events when you called them. Remember that they only started showing up when it was time for them to run again. Opportunists. Sometimes we have to sit back and watch. And then when we sit back and watch, what is the evaluation, and what are we going to do about it? And it's not just about politics. It's just about your friendship. What about that friend that always is your friend when they need something? What about that friend that you can't find when you need something? And this has happened over and over again. Before you realize that, hey, I'm the one always going out getting stuff, and I'm the one that's always buying, and when I need to eat, just talk. This friend is never available. Sit back and watch and evaluate what you're going through, what the relationship is. What about your personal relationship? What about that person that you'll ride or die for, baby, but they won't ride or die for you? When you call and say, hey, I need a little change. I don't even have gas to get to work, and they tell you, I ain't got none. I'm out of it. But yeah, they can go out and eat. Not even go out and eat. They can take the side piece out and eat. They got a full tank of gas. I would rather you give me half of what you're going to put in your tank so I can get to work as well until I get paid, and I can back us up. What about those type of relationships? Sit back and watch how you're being treated. Sit back and watch who that you can trust, and to what extent you can trust. See, trust is a word that I really don't like to use, but there's really no other way to say. I guess I could say who you believe in, who you think would do what they say they would do. Sit back. 'Cause I hate saying trust, because in God we trust, and all others must sign. That's my mentality when it comes to trust. Trust no one. But at some point you have to believe that a person is going to do what they say they're going to do. You have to believe that a person is going to be there for you when they say they're going to be there for you. And when they show you that they're not going to be there for you, you have to take heed. You have to believe them. What Maya Angelou said, when a percentage shows you who they are, believe them. Remember, you have to believe them. When a person show you who they are, you have to believe them. Don't keep giving them the benefit of the doubt. It's just not going to work. Some relationships are there for a reason, a season, and a lesson. Understand that. Which relationship is there for a lesson? And when you learn that lesson, you don't need to repeat it. You need to go ahead and learn from it and drive on. Okay? And so I just saw this, and I'm like, if I'm watching this, I'm sure a lot of other people are watching this. I'm sure a lot of other people are seeing people who they hooked up with a job. I hooked you up with a job, and now you're trying to push me out. I hooked you up with my friend, and now you want want to take them away from me. You don't even want us to communicate. Pay attention to this stuff, because see, I'm telling you, what goes around comes around. What one person will do to you, they'll do to someone else, and vice versa. All you got to do is sit back and watch and disassociate. Okay, stop putting yourself in predicaments that is going to just perpetuate the cycle. Oh yeah, I use that. I use that. I use that. Stop putting yourself in predicaments that perpetuates the cycle. Stop being attracted to the same type of people that are going to dog and use you out. See, what we normally do is we have a type. We have a type of person that we like to be with. And so what we do is, when that type disappoints us, we go to the same type. So for instance, for example, I have a type where I like strong minded men. I like men that can accept the fact that I've been single for a while and I'm real headstrong. It has always been headstrong. And so I ask a lot of questions. I don't go along to get along. And I'm attracted to men who can understand that and handle that. A lot of men can't handle that type of woman. They like the soft-spoken woman that's going to say how many, yes sir, 3 bags full. That is not me, because I am the type of person that I make my own money, and what little bit that I do make, I make it work for me. So I don't need to be dependent on you for money and all that stuff. So I'm not going to be bowing my head to you and kneeling and all that good stuff like that. And so I need a man that understands that. I need a man. Hey, sis, I need a man that can put his foot down respectfully with me. Don't call me out my name. Don't call that B word. Oh, baby, we'll be fighting. I might get beat up, but I'm probably going to go off on you. Don't, because that's not appropriate. And I'm going to go back to that in a minute. And so that's what I like. But then those same type of men prefer women who are soft. Okay, so when I get that type of man, and it doesn't work, I tend to go back and be attracted to that same type of man. And I don't look at any other man. I don't look at the good guys. I don't look at the nerdy guys, and I don't look at, anybody that I've never dated. I don't look at the heavy guys, because I believe that one stomach is enough, and mine probably ain't going nowhere. But I do like thick guys, so don't get me wrong. I like thick guys, and I don't look at too much of the short guys. I like tall guys, see, and that's what my problem is, because I'm going after the same thing over and over again, and I'm pretty much getting the same results over and over again in one way or another. So we have to be mindful of what our standards are, and sometimes we gotta adjust the standards. We can't just stay there. We can't stay there, because if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, 9 times out of 10 you get the same results, and that's in dating as well. Okay, and so we have to be mindful of when we need to adjust, even adjusting our friends, adjusting the community that we live in the community that we play in. We have to learn when it's time for adjusting. In order to do that, you have to sit back and wait. You have to observe, and you do have to ask questions. I ask a lot of questions. It doesn't matter. Ask the questions that you want in these type of relationships, friendships, any kind of relationship that you're in, workships, all that. You need to ask questions. See where people are in their mind and with you. Okay, because if we're just doing this just so I can help you, I'm going to help you, but I'm only going to help you that one time. You're not going to use me and don't return the same amount of energy that I'm putting in the relationship. Reciprocity is a must for me. I need to be able to call on you when I need you. Okay. Oh yes, Lady Boo. I know your mama was the greatest. I mean, she was the greatest and had so much energy, man. To be half of what she was, I desire. Trust me. But so we have to be mindful of who we let in our lives, okay, and how we allow them to treat us. That's the thing. And this is why I get on these type of conversations, because a lot of times we, for so long, we allow people to mistreat us that it becomes our our way of living. It becomes our character. And if you allow one to treat you that way, others are watching, and they will start to treat you that way. But if you stop them in their tracks, baby, let me tell you something. Others are watching, and they know not to come at you like that. And then they start talking, and they'll tell you people that you are the bad seed, that you are evil, that you don't, get along. Okay. And that's okay. Learn to be that person that don't get along. Because 9 times out of 10 is only because they can't manipulate you. They can't come up to you and say anything to you. And they can't cuss you out, because they know when that tongue start wagging your way, your tongue gonna wag their way. Okay? And then learn to do it in a professional manner. Don't get out there and get belligerent and idiotic. Don't do that. Do it in a professional manner. Make them feel this small because they tried you. I'm not telling you to get out there and be a little wuss. I'm telling you to be professional with it. I'm telling you to be professional with it. Like somebody told me one day what they would do to me. That they would slap me, okay? And then this is what I asked them. Well, my dear, while you're slapping me, what exactly is it that you think that I should be doing? She didn't even understand how to answer that question. Because I wanted her to know that while you're slapping me, what I'm supposed to be doing, just taking it? Not going to happen. But you don't have to get out there and act ignorant. Don't show people that ignorant energy. Don't let them pull you into that ignorant energy. Just sit back and watch. You don't even always have to say anything. Just look at them. Just look at them. Some people can be provoked, honestly, just by the way you look at them. You don't even have to say anything. You just look at them. And so that same person that felt they wanted to slap me, right? I'm pretty sure I could have provoked her just by looking at her. You know what I'm saying? So that's why you want to be mindful what you do in your actions. Because most of the time, especially as adults, you're going to end up in court. And you have to be able to show that whatever you've done to defend yourself was truly in defense. And arguing back and forth with these people, putting your hands on these people without being touched first, is not defense. That's not a sign of defense. You actually escalated the situation. I'm trying to teach y'all something. I spent a lot of days in the courtroom, especially in the state of Georgia. So I can tell you about how a lot of cases go, because I spent a lot of time in them courtrooms. And you have to prove that you were provoked. Okay, it's not okay to just put your hands on nobody. It's not okay to come out your mouth any kind of way. It's not okay. So when you see people trying to mistreat you, you see it, you get yourself away from there. You move yourself out of the equation and be happy and satisfied that you did. The worst feeling that I can imagine is feeling like you are weak. That's the worst feeling. And I tell you that because there are sometimes I get into my old self, because I used to be a fireball. I used to be one that you really couldn't say nothing out of the way to me without feeling my wrath. I used to be that when I was younger. So sometimes when I ignore situations, when I avoid conflicts, sometimes I feel like, man, I could have handled that a little better for me. I could have really went off. I should have said this. I should have said that. I should have done that. But then after a few hours, I realized that I've done the right thing. Now there is no backlash. There's no repercussions. I don't have a case number. I'm not going to jail. I handle that the mature way, the professional way. And that's what I want to encourage my listeners to do. Handle your business professionally. Handle your business professionally. Now, any of y'all that know me knows that I have 4 biological sisters. Okay, well, 5, because we don't do step in my family. So I have 5 biological sisters, and most of them have learned the skill of articulating themselves in a professional manner, whereas you get smart with them, but what comes out of their mouth, you got to think about before you understand what they're even saying. And you can't just come at a person when you got to think about how they articulated their comeback. Those are how my sisters do. I say 3 of them. So, yeah, 3 of them does that. I'm the one that's tittle-tatting, trying to figure out, okay, how we gonna come at this? Which way we going? I have to remind myself, love, be professional. But it's worth it. Mind how you talk to people. Mind how you treat people. But listen, mind how people treat you. You don't have to be walking around here looking like a worker bee. You don't have to be walking around here looking like somebody's flunky. You know what I'm saying? My mother hates that word. Oh, she hates that word. She hates when I say that. But I'm serious. You don't want that reputation where, as people know, oh, let's just call her, she'll go do it. She'll be the mouthpiece. We put her up to doing it. You don't want to do that. And to where you feeling like you have to do it in order to fit in with that crowd. If I got to do what you tell me to do every time you tell me to do it, I don't want none of that. I'd rather be by myself. Y'all know I like to eat. Y'all know I like to eat. Just give me something to eat. And y'all going on do what y'all going to do, because I don't need to be a part of that right there, y'all. You see what I'm saying? So this is what I want to leave you with. I'm not sure exactly if you understand me or not. Sit back and watch how people treat you. And when you realize that they're not treating you in the manner in which you desire to be treated, let it go. Everybody is not fit to walk your journey. Nobody's perfect. I got a past. I wrote about my past so that I can help someone else with their future. Get it? That's what we're here for. We're here to help and uplift others, not to put them down. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is. They may not dress the way you dress, or they may not be dressed nice enough for you. But that may be all they have at the time. And in their mind, they may look halfway decent. And it's not your place to put them down. It's your place to uplift them, encourage them. And when you're in a place where the encouragement is not welcome nor reciprocated, y'all know what I'm saying. I might have said that wrong. Y'all know I talk funny. When you're in that place that you're not getting it back, remove yourself. Shake the dust from your feet and get on up out of there. That's not the place for you. Don't let anybody use you. Help people to a certain extent. Let me give you an example. And y'all know I do blankets for the homeless. So I went out there, I gave this homeless man, I covered him up and everything. Oh, it was wet outside. I got out my car. My son was like, Mama, I know you're not going to. Yes, I am. I'm going to cover him up. It's cold. And so I put the blanket over the man. I went back and I said, I love you too, baby. And you know I do. I went back and I saw his blanket was gone. I believe someone had stolen his blanket. And I said, do you need another blanket? I see you don't have your blanket. That was like 2 nights later. And he was like, yeah, I do. So I covered him up again like a little baby. That makes me feel good when I do that. And I covered him up again. Then I went again. He had none again. I can't help you no more, sir. I got other homeless people out here that need blankets. You done lost 2 of my good blankets. And I got to save the rest for the other people. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you can do for so much for somebody, and they will never appreciate it. They won't take care of it. Okay? They will forget who helped them. And then you just got to move on and pray for them. That's what you got to do. Listen, remember, don't be nobody's fool. Let me just say it straight to the point. Love yourself. Always. Then you can love someone else. God loves you. I love you. Once again, make sure you love yourself. Then you can properly love someone else. Until we shall meet again, may you be tremendously blessed. Do not be manipulated. And do not be confused by those big words, because they're just words. If there's no heart behind it, it's empty. Talk to you later.